Hello, good evening, guys. We'll be going live now and we'll be knowing more about civil services. So mostly I will be covering the introduction to civil services, and then is this talk is for whom, and then using how to use the resources of coaching centers, and how we can benefit more and more from the coaching centers, and then what to read and what not to read. In IAS, it is most important that what you are reading, most important is what not to read. So they call the selection is the process of rejection. So you must know that what you have to not to read, right? Because mostly the people are telling you more and more about you have to read this, and you end up then coming more and more than you are believing others, and the self-study time and the self-reflection time is less and less. Then we'll be talking about the coaching centers. Yeah. Then the important websites. What are the important websites when you are at home? Then what you can do, and then what are the relevance of the test series that is there. So we'll be using that. So start with that Indian Civil Service, that is called the Indian Imperial Service, that came by the Government of India Act. Who are already studying for the civil services, they may know that okay, by they have read the Regulating Act of 1773, then the Charter Acts were there, and till the time it was halted by the 1857 mutiny that was there, right? As V.D. Savarkar also says that it is the first war of independence, but the others say that no, it is not the first war. Then it is only it was only a mutiny that was disorganized at that time. You will get more and more clarity when you will be reading onto this. So that I'll be explaining more. I'll be telling what to read into the particular topic and which books to read and what to follow that you must know into this. Then is like by the Government of India Act, that is how the Queen's rule came. It was the East India Company before, but the Queen's rule came in 1858 when she was made the Empress of India, right? So that came the Government of India Act, that is 1858, that was there. So there are two important commissions that were there. As you know, the famous Macaulay Committee report that was there, and that was the Hutchinson Commission that was there, right? So by the Hutchinson Commission, they have made the convened services and the non-convened services. So we are trying to first of all go into the brief history of civil services that is there. So mostly they'll be teaching you into the you'll be reading the most abstracts of it. But the main thing is like you should know the basis of from where it is coming and how it is going, right? So you can also ask me questions if there are any, if they are like you want to ask any of the questions. If you have any comment of that, you can do it side by side. So going on to that, then afterwards came the 1912. So as you know that the King George V, he came in India in 1911, and he was attacked by the nationalists, and that is how he felt okay that there needs to be some change, and he referred that matter to the politicians of that time. That was at that time it was Bal Gangadhar Tilak that was there, and Gandhi hasn't come. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi has not come into that place, and Nehru and Jinnah was not that big leaders at that time. Afterwards, there comes the Montague Chelmsford reforms that came, and by that mostly you will see that the Government of India Act 1919 came. So they asked for that there should be all India services and there should be central services. That they only said it, but nothing was implemented at that time. Then comes the changes after the Lee Commission in 1923. That is very important. So into the Lee Commission 1923, whose recommendations were that they were implemented into the famous Act of Government of India Act 1935. So that is very important act, and as you know, or as you don't know, that is the 60% of our Government of India Act the Constitution of India right now, it is having 60% from that act only. So if you're reading into, you will read it into the polity when you read it from the D.D. Basu or Subhash Kashyap book. Yes, I'll be telling you books also into the further. So the Lee Commission, the recommendations were put into the Government of India Act 1935, and that is where the David Lloyd George, that the PM of England at that time, said that they are like the bulwarks. Civil services is the bulwarks of any colonial rule. So in that way only, that is why into 1947, when Prime Minister Nehru and Sardar Patel, they also were agreeing on to this point of Lloyd George, and they made the ministers. One is the finance minister they made, and the other is the VP Menon, that they made the foreign ministers. So they both were into the civil services, and that is how they streamlined the civil services in general. Now this video is for whom? This video is for the people that want to know more and more about the IAS and basics to, I'll be talking about the basic level, to the advanced level that is there. Into the coaching centers or something, they bombard you with all the knowledge, but they don't tell you what not to read. There's like, they just play a safe game over there. And they say that, okay, if you don't read also, then like you will read this, and even if you clear it, then it's fine and all that. And even if you don't, there's a win-win game because they're already getting the money. I'll not be bullshitting over here. Please excuse the expression. But I'll be telling you what is the reality, what you really need to read about that. Yeah. And you can ask the questions, as I see that many people have joined, and you can ask also the questions that I will be streamlining. So mostly I'll be talking into the broader senses now, but if you'll be asking me the questions, then I'll be able to be there and telling you all the doubts that you have. So then coming on to the coaching centers, right? How you can use the resources, how you can use the more and more resources of the coaching centers. If you are preparing from home, you don't need to get disheartened, first of all. If you are, I'll be talking first of home, and then we'll be going to the coaching centers. First of all, if you are starting from the home, then what you have to do is, like, if you're totally motivated, you're totally focused, and you have no distractions at all. And that I mean by the expression that you have no distractions, right? And then you can study from home only. And generally, you can go to the online portals, and the best online portals are insightsonindia.com. That is the best site that you will find. Then streamlines your preparation, that is doing. And then is the iasbaba.com. That is even a very good thing. And for economy, the best one is the mrunal.org. So if you will be seeing this from home, you can also clear it. And there are many examples. You can also read it on Insights on India onto how they became successful and all. So if you are going into the coaching center, so the best coaching to the country are mostly into the part, and one is in South India, that is the Shankar IAS Academy, that is there. Into the North India, the best one is Wajiram and Ravi, that is into old Rajendra Nagar, right? Then it is Shri Ram IAS, that is also the best one. Then it is the Vision IAS, that is there. And Vision IAS, mostly they provide the test series. So that was also the best one over there. So the next is, even the ALS is there. So Alternative Learning Systems IAS, even that is the best one. So I'm mostly talking of to a person who went from one place, you know, and they are already into Delhi, and they are not knowing much that, okay, where to go, which are the best coaching centers. One who are already into the Delhi, they mostly know the stuff that I'm talking about, and mostly, but not the whole. So you have to see it, right? So mostly it is the coaching centers, they run like colleges. So they put like will be going for 3 to 4 hours. The professors, they are like the celebrities. They'll come there, they'll speak, And then even towards the end, if you want to come and just want to ask the questions also, they are like celebrities, they are like hi, and then they are out of there. And mostly like if you have the study groups, that is the most important thing that is there. Into the study groups, find the persons who are like-minded, right? Who are not living their life too much into like the open, that is there. They are not, they are much into the studying, they are motivated, they want to achieve something. That is where you also want to be, right? So it's like they are running is, so how the time is spent during the day. A general day into the coaching center will be looking like, will be 3 hours. So they'll be like general studies, it will be a 3 to 4 hour lecture. And if you are also joining the CSAT over there, somewhere into Vajiramu only or somewhere into the career launchers or somewhere. So you will find that, okay, your day is there, and like 3 to 4 hours are already gone to the general studies, and that is only when you are listening it, right? So the next thing is like CSAT. You will be having CSAT will be 2 to 3 hours. So your 6 hours are gone, and then you will be going into the optionals. Optionals you will be preparing. Either you have done it into your degree. That is the best thing that you can do. If I want to take the optional into the like if I want to take the psychology as an optional from the 22 subjects that are already described into that are there into the UPSC site, and you can follow it by the 22 subjects. You can choose one subject. If you're like, if I've done psychology, so psychology is I'll choose the subject for there, and even that is will take 3 hours, so that your 9 hours are totally gone. And then you will be reading the newspaper, and the ideal time that is there, if you read a newspaper going through all the pages, it will take 1.5 hours daily. So as I see that 11.5 hours totally is gone into your self, there is no self-study here. So you are totally listening to it, and that is how. So your 8 hours of sleep or your 7 hours of sleep, so that makes 18 hours, right? And you will also take food, take bath. That is also so going into mostly of the 20 hours. So you have 4 hours free that are there, 3 to 4 hours. That is the real self-study that is there. So if you are not going into any of the coaching centers, you are saving over time over there. But there are pros and cons of the both sides, right? At home, the main problem is getting motivated and focused. That is the main problem over there. And if you're in the coaching center, there are a lot of distractions apart from studying also. And then is like the time spent during the day, as you can see, that the self-study hours are less. So generally it takes 1 year of preparation. 1 year of preparation is that you need to clear IAS, right? So generally, if you are, I'll be also working on telling you about the working population that is there, right? So the time management is the biggest challenge into the coaching centers that you will face. Yeah. So generally, that is, you have to see the time that is lost, how you can recover more and more during the day. So you are every day you are fighting and for the time, and you are using it for self-study so that your future can be better, right? So your bottom line here is like you have to, if you are into a coaching center, then your self-study hours should be more and more. And you can use the many apps that are there that is giving you at least 4 hours or something. Then you can put 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, so that the apps, the time management apps are very important, and they are there at the Google Play, so you can use them. Going next on to, for the working population, generally you have, ideally if you're very much motivated and you want to clear the civil services, many success stories are there. You can see it on the insightsonindia.com. I am not promoting Insights of on India, but that is the best site that is available. I am speaking from the medium of Lifology that is bringing you all these videos, right? For the working population that is there, that is for like for 4 or 5 hours. For 4 or 5 hours daily, you have to study, and then pursuing your career. So you have to put the extra effort. Extra effort has to be put in order to achieve more and more. So generally, the ones who have done their degree and they are onto the leash from the work, they and still to join the work, they mostly come on to coming onto the coaching centers, getting distracted and not clearing the papers, and generally only making the couples and all. But generally, the motivated ones do clear, and there are many examples of that. Yeah, for the working population, so you can have most of 5 to 6 hours. You can read the stories about this. That is, the 5 to 6 hours is the ideal. That is there. If you are achieving it, they have achieved it into the 5 to 6 hours. So you can also do it. If they can do it, you can do it, right? Generally, you need 1 year to prepare. So coming on to the next, that is there. That is how to read it, right? What not to read is very important in the IES. So following only particular sites, only the particular books, that is, and doing the self-study more and more, that is what is being seen consistently. It is being correlated by the success stories that are there. There are many materials into the Mukherjee Nagar or old Rajendra Nagar. When you'll pass by, you will see that, and you see that there is whole amount of information that is there, and you are tempted to get it. But my friend, there are no shortcuts to this. Yeah, there are no shortcuts to success, right? You have to do your hard work. You have to toil more and more so you can you can secure one seat into the IAS. Yeah. I'll just give you the simple figures how hard it is. So generally into the prelims, the people who are the civil service aspirants, right, CSA, that are there. So civil service CSAs, they are like 5 lakh. They around 5 to 6 lakh. They are filling the paper, and 3 to 4 lakhs they are coming for giving the prelims. And out of this 3 to 4 lakhs, 25,000 they clear. They are called for the mains. Yeah, they'll be coming into the mains, and after that they'll be 25,000 will be giving the mains, where you will fill all your information, your hobby, that will be taken for the interview. But generally 2,500 to 3,000 people, they clear the mains, right? And they're called for an interview. And there are only 1,100 seats that are there into the IES. And the All India service that is there, All India service, that is only 150 to 300 seats that are there. First are the IES that is there. That is, they will get into, if you get into the 100 ranks of the IES, then you will get around IES you are given, then IPS is given more than 100, and plus the IFS, they also comes into first of they has to be first in 200, and there are only 30 seats for IFS, that is the Indian Foreign Services. So Indian Administrative Services, you have to have a rank of 150 ke aspas, and for getting more of the IRS, you have to have the rank beyond it will be 400 or something. And then there are the central services that are there. They are also good, but the cream is more. So the success rate into the Indian civil services, that is the Indian civil services, the success rate is 0.1%. So you can see how tougher the competition is. Yes. So you have to work hard more and more, and you cannot take all these things that is there, that okay, I'll take the notes from here and there, and then I'll be. So you have to read the right books that you have to read. So I'll give you the book list now. A book list is the main logic here is if you are ready for the mains, then you clear the prelims. If you're ready for the interview, then you clear the mains. Yeah. So for the polity, the important is the political structures and all the constitution that is there. So the important ones are Subhash Kashyap or D.D. Basu that is there. And the most important book into the civil services preparation, it is the India Yearbook. That is mostly published by the Ministry of Broadcasting and Information, and that is given by that comes into the month of December to January. So then it is the economic survey. Economic survey, it is it comes into the month of February. That is into the March or April it comes. Yeah. Even that is most important into the economics. Plus, if you want to get hold of the core concepts, then Ramesh Singh, that is the best book onto the economy. So then coming on to the geography, geography is like the NCRTs are the best into the geography when you read. And the other book is the GC Leong book. That is most important. So history, you can see that the NCRTs you have to read from 6th to 10th, and then +1 and +2. And the culture, the best notes are of the Nitin Singhania notes. That is, even the Tata Magda has given it a shape and a book. Yeah. Then next is the world history. That is the Norman Love history, and also the +2 NCRT. That is having a like you will make a base into the NCRT, and then you will go further into the Norman Love, and you will understand more and more, because watching documentaries or something, you don't have that much of time. Then the Indian history is the Bipin Chandra's India struggle for independence. That is there. Then it is the environment and biodiversity. It is follow the NASA side that is there. There are facts that are given onto environment and biodiversity. Mostly UPSC goes to these of the sites and track down the questions. Then the other is the Ministry of Environment and Forestry. The annual report is there. So that is the best onto that, and you don't need to follow any other things. And if you want to go to and follow the other the notes that they are there, they are the Shankar IAS notes. They are the best into that. So you will get the core concepts that, and to read the report and to get the terminology and the jargons into the ministry reports, you have to read the ministry sites. So that is how the India Air book comes very handy, when all the ministry sites are there and every most important information is there into that. So coming on to the science you can cover from the NCRTs, mostly from the 6th to 10th. And then the +2 biology book, the environment section there is the best, and you can also read the other sections into the biology, right? For the Indian society, Ram Ahuja's book is the best, that defines mostly the. So coming on to the international relations, that is the Vision IS company, that notes are the best, and the ethics that are there. Ethics in the Shankar IS or the Vision IS Academy notes are the best ones. Coming on to the disaster management, that is the disaster management, you can learn from the National Institute of Disaster Management, nidm.org, and that is here the best site onto there. And they also have the annual reports, and mostly the questions of the prelims and the mains, they are coming from these annual reports. So you should you should have a habit of seeing what bills have passed. You should go into the PIB, that is the Prime Minister's, that is there. So the Broadcasting Ministry already have this site, and you can go to pib.com. There you will get the summary of the bills and the news that are important to the government. And I'm not talking about the sensational news. So the best newspaper that you can see, that is why, and also won the award, that was the Hindu. So that is very important. And the other is that the internal security, that is against the Ministry of Home Affairs side, is best into, and the annual report is coming, and they are touching the most important aspects over there. So what are then the good websites that you can follow? That is the Insights on India. That is the best that you can follow. That is the insightsonindia.com, and then is the isbaba.com. Then it is the mrunal.org. That is specially for the economy that is there, right? So the challenges that you would fail, that you would face mostly would be time management. That will be the biggest thing. And the other big thing is how you are going to cover the current affairs. So current affairs, because daily the history is getting made, and you are reading it, and it is getting expensive because of the limitations onto the human memory. You will not be able to, retain all the knowledge. That is like before 2 months or 3 months, you have read something, some bill is there. You just know the vague points of it and not like getting. So mostly that is how it becomes a little bit important in this. Then the next is the that is the what you have already done. That is how the revising the daily topics that you are doing. So that is important. So what are your friends in here? They are the discipline. So as the Sun Tzu says in the Art of War, right? That he says that the discipline is the core value of a warrior. So if you are going into this civil services, just think yourself as you are going into war, because it is just like that, and you will not be having that social relationships as FB or WhatsApp. All those things will go, they'll just vaporize like that, and you suddenly the maturity will hit you when you will read all these things. And mostly an aspirant is they are taking more and more of like 12 hours is what they are going for, but you can also have the quality hours of 7 to 8, and then also it's wonderful. Then it is the other thing is the timetable. Timetable is like, as we've discussed, that you are making what you are covering. You have to see the big picture first, and then you have to make the small plans and to the daily plans what you are achieving, right? And if you achieve mostly even the 60 to 70% of what you have, because our ambitious mind is always playing with us, so giving us more and more targets, that is okay. You can so if you are going for this, so make the a very accurate type of a timetable, that you can set the goals of the day, then the goals of the week, goals of the month, and then the goals of the year. That is there. When you are start, you have to be onto that mission, and mostly you are socially dead, because your relatives will find that okay, where is he, and then the person is preparing for civil services. So it is just like that. But the rewards are also good. Then you have all these red beacons, the big houses, and all those things, and the power that is comes, and also the important thing, serving your country. That is the most important thing. Then is the motivation is just like brushing. You have daily, right? So the daily motivation is very important. You can read some good books onto the like motivation, and then or you are liking some, like some person really like the some books like Art of War, or some philosophy books are there, or some journal self-help books are there. So you are reading, you are reading a novel, so that is also helping you into your reading comprehension. That is into the CSAT part of it. We'll be discussing. I'll be summing up into the last 5 minutes that the syllabus that I'll be telling, and you can download it from the upsconline.com. That is how the syllabus and all is there. So I'll be talking only the most important stuff that is there. Um, then the other thing is the exercises. That is, if you are exercising daily, that you are creating your endorphins daily. So that is how the good feeling is always there. You are preparing for it, and you just don't need to take so much of pressure that only you are there to solve the problems of the world. You are a simple human being, and you should be living, and don't try to be a perfectionist. It is the natural way is the best way. That is what you should be going for into this. Then the other point is the test series. Test series is the very important thing. That is, you have already prepared, you already think, okay, you have read so many books that I have already read. So what I should be doing here is I should be checking myself. So test series is a way of that. You are make the best practices are the study groups. Study groups you already made, you already know. Then do not see that okay, I will be practicing only. So I'll only be going on to the phase, at the last only. I'll be going for the test series and all that. You can read a chapter, then go to the tests that are there and solve it. That is how the competition works, and you also have a confidence is there with you. So that is how you should be doing. Then with the test series, you can do so. Generally, the prelims is into the month of June. Now it is in June, so generally it is in June, July, and the mains is in October or November. It is there, and then the interview get called for in the month of February, and the results are there before the prelims exam, then you will be getting most of calls you will be getting the result comes onto like in the month of June, before the prelims, before 15 or 20 days. So that also serves as a motivation for the persons who are giving the prelims. That is how the even UPSC is playing with your mind. Going on to the prelims test series, that mostly starts into the December or January that starts. So you can and there you can also get the all India rank, and you can see where you will get it. And even if you're scoring 60 to 70% in the test series, that is how they are making very difficult into the prelim test series by the coaching centers. So you can get where you stand. Don't get demotivated. It's totally fine. When you have the knowledge, that will definitely show into your prelim like scores. It will show. So then comes the doomsday of the prelims. Then you will be giving the prelims. Then the result generally comes into 40 days, 50 days it comes. Then you are called for then you have to, DAF form is there, detailed application form that you have to fill for the mains. And then you will be going for more and more. Then you'll be if you clear the mains, then you'll be called for an interview, and that is the most prestigious thing. Because you are the best of the 2000 or 3000 out of the country, so that is the best feeling that you'll get. And then afterwards, after getting selected, you feel the top of the world. So it's really wonderful. Going on to the other things, that is the mains test series. It is also very important. Mains test series helps you in your answer writing. So answer writing is very important, though but they tell you about the presentation, how you should enterprise onto that idea, how you should present your ideas, and that is how you also made the mind maps and all that. So that really becomes very important in that. That you should go for this mains test series. That is very important. That is generally given by the Insights on India also. Vision IAS, that is manually you can go there and you can write. And mostly students who have taken the coaching, or they are from the home, they shift to Delhi, or that is also to the distance learning also they are coming. So mostly the better is you should have a study group is very important. That is how you get motivated during what you are doing. So then coming on to the mock interviews. So mock interviews is very, very important. It starts into the month of December to January. So that is how they tell you about what is the most important thing in that. They'll be making you more and more proficient. They'll be making you what not to speak. That is how they speak into any answer, that what you write into the mains also. The most important, and any answer that is being asked by the interview board. So generally there are 10 to 11 interview boards, and the person sitting there are 2 to 3 psychologists onto the board, and you will see a panel like this, and that is like a semicircle, and the chairman is sitting there, and then you have the 10 to 11 boards are there, and you get one board, then you go there, and then you get being called for that, and then you have to answer all the questions. So generally into an answer, the most important thing is you write the first introduction to any of the answers, then you write the positive things, then the negative, that is the criticisms that are there, and then you end it by onto a positive note, that is called the constructive analysis of that. So if you are having these things into your answer, then your answer is considered as the best one. And seeing is you have to write 5,000 to 6,000 words. That is, you have your hands will be penning into the mains when you will be writing onto that. But the most important thing is you'll be so you have to practice, you have to habituate your hand. That is what you will be doing. That is, you'll be writing the answer series, and you will get bored as hell. And even the mains that the program is there, that is also if the 9 papers are there. So what you will be doing it into the 9 papers, it will be into the morning, and then it will be into the evening session. It is at 9 or 10 o'clock, and then it is at 2 to 5 o'clock. So it just it breaks you onto the mind level also. So if you are mentally strong at that point also, then only like they are, it is also like the psychometric or the psychological test that the UPSC is trying to test you. Are you breaking under pressure? You are already prepared for 1 year and then you are coming here. The prelims was hard, the mains is hard, the interview is hell, and then afterwards you are going to be an IAS. That is how they give you the best chair, and then you serving the country. Bureaucracy is like you are the cabinet secretary, that is the topmost official, to the deputy commissioner into the districts that is there. You are working for the like government of India. You are wearing the uniforms. That is the best feeling that you can have in here. I'll be just telling you about to the summing. It is the last 5 minutes. You can ask any questions if you have any questions. Into the prelims there are two papers that are there. Into the paper one, into the general studies, that is called paper one and paper two. Paper one is the general studies, paper two is the CSAT. So paper one, what subjects are there? It is the polity, economy, geography, environment and biodiversity, science and technology, and then it is the history. So mostly they're talking about the Indian history and the Indian national movement that is there. So coming on to the CSAT, that is the quantitative, that is the basic numeracy that is there, and generally the logical and the analytical reasoning that is there, then the data interpretation, data sufficiency that is there, so general mental ability that is there, and the interpersonal skills that they are checking. Okay, you are good into that. Then it is the reading comprehension. Now, reading comprehension is the most important, where you should be doing it. That is why you should have a habit of reading a book, or you are reading the government reports or something, because the file load into the government is too much. They don't want these slow readers, right? They want you just skim through a report into just 1 hour, and the report is this much, and you have just seen the main points of it, and you have written it. So they are checking the reading comprehension. So the most challenging part into the CSAT is comprehensions. You should first only start working on to that, and the no rule applies over here. The people will make a scientific analysis of that. Do this, do that. So the best thing is that you are going into the civil services. You should have that aptitude that is already there into that, and the practice will make you more and more perfect. Then coming on to the mains, there are 9 papers in total. So there are 2 qualifying papers. That is, one is the English paper that is there, and then it is the Indian languages. That is into the 8th schedule of the Constitution of India. There are Indian languages, and you can choose one of the languages. Like if I choose Hindi, or I choose Punjabi, or I choose Assamese, or I choose the other Bodo, or the other languages, whichever I want to give. Then it is the essay. The essay is like they will give you an essay, and you are seeing that, okay, it is of 250 marks that is there. So here it starts computing then what is there. So the total marks is 2025 that is there. So into the essay you will get 250 marks. In general studies paper 1, that mostly the history is there. History, world history, geography, world geography. And the other one is the Indian society that is there. So this is the GS paper 1. This is also of 250 marks. In GS paper 2, that is 250 marks that is there. That is mostly the governance, constitution. Social justice is there. What all like the Manrega schemes are there or something that comes into this. And then it is the international relations that is there. So that is also most very, very paying paper, I would say. That is, if you are good into constitutional polity, then only you will be able to write onto this. In GS3, this is science and technology. If you are from the engineering background or something, then you will be science and technology, environment, biodiversity. And then the other one are the internal security that is there. That is, you will get in from the Ministry of Home Affairs. Then it is the disaster management that is there. So disaster management from nidm.org site, you will get all the information. So this is into the GS paper 3, you will get it for the 250 marks that is there. So coming on to GS paper 4, there it is the paper there where they are assessing your aptitude for the IAS. So generally it is ethics, integrity and aptitude. So mostly the people are, they're telling you, okay, these are the ethics, and these are the most the reports that are there, but here the no reports are there. Whatever you think, if you have a know what are the different ontological positions into the philosophy, then only you will be good into the ethics. And then what you generally practice into your life, and that is how you are giving in more and more analysis. That is, you will be learning more into the answer writing that you will be doing. So this is also of 250 marks. Then there's the optional paper. So if I choose psychology, it'll be paper 1 and paper 2. So there are two there's one optional with the two papers. So paper 1 will be more of the theoretical that will be there. So and into the paper 2, it will be most of the application based that will be there. So coming on to then the after the optional that are of 250, then it comes to the grand total of 750 that is there. So now the interview is called, then afterwards the interview is called now the personality test that is there, because the psychologist is also sitting there and they're also checking your general studies knowledge, and then it is of 275 marks. So the total marks come on to 2025. So the most important thing is like you now you have got the total overview of that, and the most important facts also I've told. If more things are there, then I can clarify it again. And here, so from the like the whole view is there that if they can do it that are already into the civil services, then you can also do it. So this is a very good platform by the Lifology .org, and this is the best thing that they are bringing through the platform of Lifology. They are sharing daily. They are giving more and more information onto the different that the professions that are there. So thank you for listening, and I sign off. Bye.